Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. So one of the things I enjoy the most on YouTube is seeing all of the desk setup ideas. I'm a lead software architect for a small ag tech company, and I work remotely, so I spend anywhere from 8 to 12 hours a day in my office at my desk. So I've spent a lot of years picking the best components for that to make me the most creative and the most productive. So a lot of thought has gone into that, and I've got a lot of ideas off of YouTube. So what I thought I'd do today is make my own setup video, walk through the things that I've got on my desk, walk through the devices that I use kind of day to day, and just give you guys an idea of what I've got on my desk. So the centerpiece of my work desk is my 2019 MacBook Pro, and this is the 15-inch. This is right before they switched over to doing the big MacBook Pros, the 16 inches. And I thought for a while about upgrading to one of those, but then now that they're coming out with the new M1 chips, I think I'm just gonna hold off until they redo these with those in it and then upgrade once those come out. So specs are the 8-core i9 processor, 16 gigs of RAM, and 512 gigs of storage, which is plenty for me as far as what my needs are. So even though I've had this for over 2 years now, it's still seems extremely powerful and just kind of mows through everything I use it for. So I use it for web development, use it for mobile development, and then just kind of all of my work stuff for meetings and things like that. So usually I've got got Xcode open, I've got several instances of Visual Studio Code open, and then of course a whole bunch of Chrome tabs, and then also Microsoft Teams running in the background. So on a day-to-day basis, I'm usually throwing a lot of it at it, and it handles it perfectly. The only issue is if you've got it in your lap or you do touch it sometimes, when you've got a lot going on, it does get extremely hot, which is one of the things I'm looking forward to the M1 chips, is it seems like it's kind of solved some of that problem, because the only time it really will slow down is when it gets extremely hot. Then it throttles the CPU, and you can tell things just start to slow down a little bit. My only other gripe about this laptop is the key travel on the keyboard. It's really shallow, and I prefer something with a little longer travel, which I think on the new 16 inches they have solved that problem. So other than that though, it's definitely works really well for a development laptop. So the next major piece in my desk setup is my 34-inch Samsung ultra-wide monitor, which I've had it for about a year and a half now, and definitely like having the extra screen real estate of the ultra-wide. On Visual Studio Code, I can have 4 different editor windows open at the same time and line them up across that, and then have Chrome, so I can work in a browser down on my laptop. So I really like this setup, and which provides plenty of real estate, so I can jump back and forth between all the stuff I'm trying to do at the same time. The only downside I find of this monitor is with it being connected to the MacBook Pro, for some reason it doesn't seem like it's the sharpest, even though the resolution is really high. It seems like the text is just a little fuzzy in some places, and it might just see, I've played around with the settings some, but I haven't been able to find one that really makes the text look crisp like you would expect. But other than that, it's been a really great monitor. The other downside with the monitor is the price. Now, I think maybe you can get them for a little bit cheaper now, but when I got this one, I was right around $800, which for a monitor is kind of crazy. Now they have a newer version, and this is, I think, a little bit older version before they had like the USB-C connectivity. Would definitely like to get one of those eventually, because you don't need the Apple dongle to connect an HDMI cable, and then you can just pretty much use it as like a USB-C dock, which is pretty cool. So the other device in my desk setup is my 3rd generation 13-inch iPad Pro. And this is definitely my favorite media consumption device. And what I use this for is more of like listening to music, playing podcasts, playing YouTube videos or playing Netflix or something, just kind of have in the background while I'm working. So for a media consumption device, this is the 3rd generation, so this is 2 generations back from the most current one with the M1 chip, and this already seems super overpowered, so I can't imagine how kind of slick and awesome the new one is. I'm not doing much work on this for sure, with it being an iPad, but for I've got, if you have like an Apple Arcade subscription or something, there's some pretty cool games on here you can get as part of that, and I'll play those every once in a while on there. Just sitting on the couch, chilling with the family. I always thought it was kind of silly having this big of a screen for an iPad, but now that I've had one this big, I don't think I could probably go back to a smaller version. So the other thing I use this for in my desk setup occasionally is Apple has this feature called Sidecar. So I can actually connect this to my MacBook Pro and use this as a 3rd screen. So if I'm doing some stuff where I need some extra screen real estate, this helps with that too. All right, now we can get into accessories. So I mentioned I don't really like the feeling of typing on the MacBook Pro keyboard, so I've got their Pro keyboard in space gray. This has the longer travel keys. I can definitely type faster on this than I can on the laptop, and also the trackpad, which I love. I'm not the biggest fan of the Magic Mouse. I feel like I can do more with the trackpad. I've got those, and not only do they work well, they look really good because they match with the space gray color of the MacBook Pro. Another major accessory of mine is these Bose Quiet Comfort 35 noise canceling headphones, which are also wireless for when I'm doing heads down stuff, just to listen to music. I've got an office that's blocked off from the rest of the house, but I do have kids, so they can still, you can still hear them through the walls some of the time. So this kind of helps block some of that out if I need to really focus in on something that I'm working on. These are really comfortable. I've also got the AirPods. I'll use these for like meetings mostly. They sound pretty good too, but for longer sessions, I definitely find these more comfortable. Just having, even though these work really well, just having I found having an earbud jammed into your ear for long periods of time just doesn't work for me. So the last, what I call major part of my home office setup is my autonomous desks, and these are sit-in stands, so they can go up and down with these controls here. I've actually got 2 of them. This one is where I've got modern stuff set up. If I want just kind of clear my desk and just work on only my laptop and just have one screen, I can move over here to this one, which I just keep clear most of the time. Now these are both really great desks. This one I've had for well over 2 years now, and this one actually got, I think it was a year after this one, and from this version to this one, they've improved them quite a bit. The motor on this one is definitely a lot quicker and a lot quieter, and just the texture on the desk itself it doesn't scratch. You can tell it doesn't. This one is kind of, there's areas where you can tell where you keep your hands where it kind of like gets this weird smooth texture that kind of makes it look different than the rest of the desk. This one, it's all stayed pretty consistent. So I think the coating on this one is a little bit better than what they had on the older ones. But overall, totally love both of these desks. All right, so sit on in a chair I got from Autonomous. I think it's their Autonomous Task Chair. There's a ton of different ways to adjust it, and compared to the other chairs that I found that you could adjust as much as this one, the price was way better on this one. I think this one was around $300 at the time I got it, and similar ones were like $500 to $600. So as far as quality, it seems pretty good. It's held up for over 2 years. It seems still about the same as it did when it was brand new. So definitely would recommend the Autonomous products for sure. All right, so that covers all of really the major stuff in my desk setup. I've got some more camera equipment and stuff I use to run this channel, obviously, but I'll probably cover that in a future video. One of the things I am considering getting right now to add to the office is one of the new M1 iMacs. I don't know if you guys have seen those. Always been a big fan of just, the all-in-one design of the iMac. It's actually been a long time since I've owned one. Lately I've just been doing most of my development work on laptops, mainly the MacBook Pro. For at least the last couple of years now, I've been working 100% remote. It makes a lot more sense to also have a desktop. Also, I think it'd be nice to have just a backup computer where I could have my code set up on both. That way, if now that this is getting older, if something were to happen to this, which I don't think it will, but it's always a possibility, have something that I won't have to worry about stop working. I can just jump over to the other one and just keep on going. All right, well, that's gonna wrap things up for my desk setup tour. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you liked it, make sure and give it a like and subscribe below. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Later.